Hey everybody, this is Workforce Gaming. I'm Doug, along with Brad.
Hey.
And so we have been looking at each E3 press conference one by one. And today we're actually recording just after the Nintendo press conference. Well, not press conference, Nintendo
Direct Spotlight.
Spotlight.
The Nintendo Spotlight E3 2017.
Yeah, yeah, a good Nintendo Direct essentially.
A very good Nintendo.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess I'm not a huge Nintendo. I think how we had framed our last discussion about Nintendo going to E3 was, then what does Nintendo need to do to get you to buy a Switch? And I think they did some pretty good stuff. Some pretty good stuff for
Yes,
sure.
sir.
So I don't know if you want to go one by one on this, or is there like specific ones you want to talk? Because I think the big one is just Mario. I think that's just the easiest one to talk about.
But there's so much other good stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go one by one. Then we'll definitely finish off with Mario then for sure.
Well, I think you need to start with that question you just asked. Was this enough to convince you to buy the Switch?
Are you asking?
You're not a Nintendo person, so I'm just curious because I've had every Nintendo system since the NES. So like, is this enough for you to buy the Switch? For you being a non-Nintendo person?
No, not at all. No,
really,
because nothing has changed since the last time that I knew Zelda was going to be great. I knew Mario was going to be amazing, and it looked amazing. That was amazing. That was absolutely incredible. But like, there was not besides those two. There was nothing that made me go, "Ooh, I need a Switch."
Okay.
Because even Xenoblade 2, I think Xenoblade 2 was actually really cool looking, but I think that trailer made it look far more generic than I know it is.
Maybe. I guess I could kind of see that. It was not a great trailer, but the fact, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just so like right now it still has two really good games. But I honestly it's just a virtual console. That's what I need, a virtual console because
really. There's a list of 10 games in front of me.
Yeah.
That they talked about during here.
Yep.
With the exception of Rocket League, which I would probably buy if I had a Switch.
Yeah.
I would buy every single one of these other games. I cannot say that about any other conference. There was no other conference that looking at it, I would buy every single game they showed and play it.
I don't know, like because Kirby to me is like it looks like the 3DS games. Looks cool. I like Kirby a lot.
Yep.
But it wasn't Breath of the Wild Kirby. It was still just Kirby.
No, it's just Kirby. But you're not going to get every single one as this is the greatest game ever. You're not going to get a 98. You're not going to get a Breath of the Wild for everyone. Sometimes you just need a good, solid game, and that's what Nintendo does. And that's what Kirby and Yoshi are. They're these two games where it's just gone, you know what? Those aren't big games. Yeah, that Kirby game looks a lot like the 3DS one.
Yeah.
That's probably what it's going to be a lot like, but it's what Nintendo needs to do, which is go, you know what? We're going to be putting stuff out every 2 or 3 months for the next 3 or 4 years on this thing. And not everything's going to be Breath of the Wild. You're going to get Breath of the Wild, then you're going to get ARMS. Then you're going to get Splatoon 2, then you're going to get Mario, then you're going to get Kirby, then you're going to get Xenoblade, then you're going to get Yoshi, then you're going to get Metroid Prime. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's going to be ups and downs, but
I mean, the thing is, like, I don't need it to be like a 98. I don't need it to be like the best game ever made. I just want them to do something like reinvent these series in a way I haven't seen before. Like Yoshi looked exactly like Yoshi's Woolly. I thought it was Yoshi. It's not Yoshi's Woolly World. It's like a follow up to it. And then Kirby looked exactly like the 3DS games that already came out. Like they just, I think my big thing with Nintendo recently is just like, I like what they did with Breath of the Wild and that they took Zelda and reinvented Zelda. And then they just took Kirby 3DS and put it on Switch. They took Yoshi Wii U and put it on Switch. You know what I mean? Do you get what I'm saying? I'm not overly negative. It's just like I just need to see like games that got me excited, and those games didn't just necessarily get me excited.
I gotcha. I don't think, but again, I guess in my mind, I feel like this conference you can break things down into two groups of people. There's stuff that are this is why you buy a Switch, and this is for you who have a Switch.
Yeah,
we're gonna keep you happy. And I think Xenoblade, Metroid Prime, Mario Odyssey, and just that little tease of there's a real Pokemon game coming. Those are the get out there and buy a Switch, where you have things like Fire Emblem Warriors, Kirby, Yoshi, Mario Rabbids. Those are the, hey, we know you bought this.
Yeah.
Here's some stuff for you to do in the meantime.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely don't disagree with that. I think it's just that like I agree. Like if you just put those lists in front of me, like yeah, I definitely need a Switch later, not now, not even this year maybe. But I think yeah, like once Metroid Prime actually does get revealed, once the Pokemon game actually gets started,
More than we started this yesterday.
Yeah.
Today's Tuesday. On Monday, guess what we did?
Yeah. Yeah, no, and the thing is like, it's not that I'm even overly negative about it. It's just that it just didn't put me over the edge. And like, literally, if it was just Virtual Console, like, hey, you can play Game Boy Advance games and Wii U games and whatever else you need on it, then I'm like, yeah, okay, then now I'm gonna go get it. But I think it was just because of that. Like, literally, that was it.
I gotcha. Yeah, I gotcha. That makes sense.
So I'm gonna ask you the same question. I assume the answer is a hell yeah or something like that.
So again, the thing with the Switch has still been a when. I think I've been saying that since January. Of the Switch issue for me is not a if, it's a when.
Yeah.
And this just held me firmly in that spot because I'm still not. It's not like I'm gonna rush out the door and buy it today. It's yep. I know right now it would be a Zelda machine for me essentially with a couple other things here and there.
Yeah.
But again, it's that thing of in my mind going, yep, I can feel good in my justification of when I buy this, knowing that Nintendo's not going to let me down like they did with the Wii U. Nintendo's got my back on this one. And I think it's just a continuation of that feeling of giving people those jumping on points. And I think that's where you're seeing this spread out, where you've got Mario in the fall, you've got Xenoblade around holiday. Next year sometime you're going to get, whatever it is that's going to be the next big one. Those jumping on points of like, all right, here's our new influx of users. Keep our people happy. Here's our next influence. I think that's going to be what it is. Switch is going to have a very slow build to it. I think it's going to see. I feel like Switch, just if you were to look at sales, is just going to be this really consistently good line. Yeah, it's going to dip here and then it's going to come right back up and it's going to dip. And it's going to have this very normalized thing. Whereas I feel like with PS4, it's got, okay, we got our big games. It's holiday. Everybody's buying it, and now nobody's like, we just got whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I could definitely see that. Oh, I'm sure it's like that too. Because I do feel like Xbox, and I think it's just because they're probably more expensive too. It's just like I feel like those feel more like a bigger purchase than a Switch. And I'm not even saying like the Switch is a bad thing. It just feels like to me a Switch is an easier purchase than say an Xbox One X. It's not something I have to sit there and think about and budget. We're not talking about Xbox, not now anyway. But it definitely feels like something that like I feel much better about picking it up. So I agree that I could definitely see sales like throughout the year, especially because it is so cheap. So I guess we've been talking a lot about the Switch itself. We kind of talked a little about the games. I think I definitely don't disagree. I think we're both I guess we're both kind of in the same spot. Like it's just that kind of when sort of thing. Yeah. Like I'm definitely in the when category, but like the when is when they announce Virtual Console. And not that I have anything, because I just want a replacement for my Vita. Like I still use my Vita a lot, but I'm like,
eventually it's gonna stop getting even the little indie support that it's getting now.
Yeah, it's been on life support for a while, but like the life support's still like it's still kicking like a little bit. It's not. I wouldn't say kicking. It's breathing. But yeah. So anyway, I guess moving from that into, let's talk about Mario Odyssey and how fucking cool that game is.
That T-Rex. That's all that matters.
I was disappointed. I saw this trailer knowing it was a Mario Odyssey trailer.
Because you didn't watch live, right?
Yeah, I didn't watch this live. I ended up having to rewatch it, and like I remember, I think around like just after noon, I was like, oh, I bet that the trailer's out. So I watched the trailer. I was like, crap, this was a cool surprise trailer that you weren't supposed to know it's Mario Odyssey.
It's great because you just have this feeling of like, what the hell? And then you just, as it turns around, you see that little hat sitting there, and like, what? Oh, no! And it's so good the way they did that. And it's just one of those things where I think this game has just been a consistent surprise since the second it was shown, and that alone has me excited. Of just, now that we've seen it, I watched Treehouse for an hour or so, just somebody playing it this afternoon, and the game just looks amazing. There's so much to it, so many things we haven't seen in a Mario game before. It looks awesome.
It is surprising that there's something surprising in Mario.
Yeah, and that's the cool thing. And I think that's, like you said, that Breath of the Wild feeling of like, okay, we're gonna take these guys and we're gonna push them forward.
Yeah,
and we're gonna take steps to make this something you haven't seen before. We're gonna put an economy system with a store in Mario where you're buying different things and all this other different stuff, and we're gonna do things you've never thought Mario would do before. We're gonna go completely crazy on the fact of like how he's dressed or whatever suit he has on completely changes things to the point where you're just in other people. Like they're taking it so far that it's that, okay, this is what Mario has been aiming towards since forever. You know what I mean? It's that full evolution. It feels like we're really getting to the point of what is Mario? Where can Mario go as a video game?
Yeah.
And how can it move past essentially what they've done for the last 2 generations, which is retread on old ideas with New Super Mario Bros., New Super Mario Bros. Wii. Like, you know, you've got like the whole same thing where you're just, oh yeah, we're just kind of doing the same thing. We know what Mario is, we're gonna play it safe, and now pushing it forward. And
I feel like that before this, that universe was like way too well defined. You know what I mean? Like, it's like you saw Mario, it's like, okay, it's gonna have X, Y, Z, and every freaking Mario Party, Mario Golf, Mario Tennis, Mario Kart. Well, Mario Kart 8 does look excellent. I'll say that. That actually looked really cool. I don't disagree. It definitely feels like a step forward. And this is like that. This is that Breath of the Wild, like just like you were saying. It's just, the thing I really like about the game is like it's a weird Mario, and there have been weird Mario games. Like Mario 64 just like is a strange Mario game. Like besides like the 3D aspects, there's like weird horror elements, like actual horror elements, not like the Ghost Boo level. Like there's a like, you know, like a giant eel that's like then you can drown, and it's a very weird aesthetic. Mario Land 1 and 2, like the Game Boy games, like you fight like the 3 little pigs and you fight giant ants and stuff. It's like this really weird aesthetic, and Mario just hasn't been weird for a long time. And it's cool seeing Mario be weird and not safe and scary and unknown. And like I honestly, like if somebody watched that trailer and they say they aren't interested in that game, like I would really question if they even like video games. Like I don't know how you can look at that.
Yeah. It'd be one of those things where I'd want to know if you could sit here and look at what's been presented for that game and tell me why you're not interested. I'd be very curious to know, because it's just it's one of those things where it looks like this is what video games are.
Yeah.
And this is what video games can be. And that's really cool. But yeah, it is interesting, because if you think about the past couple Mario games, the things that have always stood out to me personally playing them are those weird levels. There's 1 or 2 weird levels in each one that kind of take you by surprise. I think it was 3D Land that had one where you played in like the shadows, and it did these really cool shadow effects on it. And that's the only part of that game that I can ever remember, because everything else just feels like more Mario. This is one of those games where it's going to be like Mario Sunshine, or not Mario Sunshine, well, kind of Mario Sunshine, but Mario 64, like you said, where I can pick out so many specific levels from that game, and I can remember so many aspects of that game, even though I haven't touched it in 10 years.
Yeah.
And that's what this looks like to me, where it's, remember that level where Mario's in the sombrero, and then there's that level where you're in the dinosaur land and you got a T-Rex. Like, there's so many unique elements to this that it screams that it needs your attention.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And it just feels so creative. It feels like, I wouldn't say Mario games feel like heartless is not the right word, but just like, it definitely feels like they've just been kind of, it almost feels
skating by.
Skating by, and just like it didn't feel like there was like a lot of love for the franchise for a long time. I would say Treasure Toad Tracker weirdly feels like there's a lot of heart in that game. And I'd say maybe Galaxy 1. I haven't played...
Galaxy 1's great.
Yeah, and
don't knock on Galaxy 1. I don't think I've even played Galaxy 2 now that I think about it.
It was a better version of 1, but it was like, you know, it was an improving idea, and that's always great to improve on mechanics. But I think just that like that rush of creativity, that's just something I kind of crave from games, and it is really exciting to see that. So yeah, so I guess we're both still in the camp of not if we're buying a Switch, but when we're buying a Switch. I think you're getting one probably sooner than I am. Are you gonna get it when Mario comes out then?
Yeah. My goal is to have one by the time Mario's out. Okay. Whether that's right around Splatoon launch. In my mind, I'm hoping for a bundle or something just to knock $50 off the price.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm really secretly waiting for, is just like, but I can get it with Mario for $300, done. Or I can get it with Splatoon for $300, done.
Yeah.
That's really what I'm waiting for at this point, I think, honestly. So when that point hits, it'll probably be when it happens.
You know, I feel like that bundle's going to be totally honest, it's probably going to be Mario Kart. Because there's no way they're going to bundle Zelda. Again. There's no way they're going to...
Zelda, yeah. You could buy, not for $300. You wouldn't bundle Mario.
No.
Yeah.
Or Zelda.
Well, never mind then.
Either way, very exciting, very cool. I think it was definitely an interesting direct. I think we definitely didn't talk about some games, but I don't know. Is there any game you want to talk about besides Mario?
Really quick. Metroid Prime 4.
Oh,
you have no point of reference, don't you? Never mind.
Yeah, I don't have anything to talk about.
God, never mind.
Are you excited for it? Anyway. No, because I know a lot of Metroid fans have been asking for that game like freaking forever.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I haven't gone back and played those in forever. I'm curious. I don't think it's very far along. I'm assuming it's 2019 at this point. But it's one of those things where I think Nintendo realizing what people want from them, and I think Breath of the Wild was the first real show that we get it. We finally understand, you know, we want your support back. You guys have been asking for Metroid Prime 4 for probably a good decade now.
Yeah.
It's coming. You wanted a big open world Zelda, here you go. You want Mario back in 3D, here it is. I think it's almost what Sony did at the beginning of the PlayStation 4, where it's like, you know what, we need to get back to what makes us PlayStation.
Yeah.
We need to get back to what makes us Nintendo, and that's delivering games that people want, that are fun, that are the best in their genre.
Yeah, it's really weird because I feel like Nintendo has actually been like mining the nostalgia for a long time. But it's kind of interesting that they have just been playing it. Like you're saying, they go back to what Nintendo meant. Like, it's funny because like when you think go back, it's like bring back those old franchises. It's not bring back those old franchises. Like bring back what those old franchises meant. What Zelda meant adventure. Make Zelda adventure. Mario meant I don't think anybody ever knew what Mario meant, to be honest. Fun. You hop around on things. But yeah, I think you're right. I think that is kind of interesting. Like, yeah, they are kind of it's like they're going back to the roots and not to the root of just it being of that franchise. That's actually why I'm curious. Like, did you like Metroid Prime 3? Because I remember that was kind of like lukewarm when that came out. So that's why I'm curious.
I'm gonna be perfectly honest. It's been so long. I remember as a whole loving the franchise. I can't pick out specific games and go like that was the good one. In my mind, it's one of those just. I played all those.
Yeah, no, I
liked them.
So I mean, are you excited that it's Metroid Prime, or would you be more?
I would have been fine with whatever. Honestly, like Metroid Fusion, like the 2D Metroid's always been my favorite. I prefer those over Prime, but it's always Prime's always stood out as one of the better ones too. So it's one of those things where I like Metroid as a whole. Even Other M, I don't mind that much. So.
Oh, so Metroid Prime has you? Because I was more because I thought people would get more excited if it just said Metroid. I didn't know if the Prime 4 made you more or less excited. That's kind of what I was trying to get at.
Yeah, I think so. I think just because it's something unique. It's not. We've seen 2D Metroids all over the place.
Yeah.
Not as frequently as we see Mario's, but there are a lot of 2D Metroids out there.
Yeah.
You've only got the 3 Prime games, and I think looking at what the Switch is trying to do. And I think that just offers something different than anything else that's on the Switch. That's the one, if you look at this list, that's the only first-person game on there. There's no first-person games announced for the Switch that I can think of off the top of my head until now. So I think that's what it does, is it adds another avenue where Nintendo's saying, you know what, yep, here's another genre that we are going to get in, and we are going to go back to providing one of the best experiences we can provide in that genre. And they did announce that weird 2D Metroid, was it like Metroid 2 remake or something?
Yeah.
So they announced that too. So with Mercury Stream doing it with is not a good thing to do.
Yeah, and it makes sense why they shut down that Metroid 2 remake a while ago. It's like because they're making their own. That doesn't look as good as the one that came out.
Nope. And it's by that studio that messed up Castlevania.
Yeah, I guess we actually do kind of have to wrap this up. So I guess real quick, because we didn't talk about Mario Rabbids at all.
Like, it's amazing. I want it so bad.
I think it looks amazing. Everything about it looks amazing except for the Rabbids part. Like,
yeah, that's kind of true. I really don't care that they're there. I really just like the fact that it's like tactical Mario.
Yeah, I mean the gameplay looks sweet. The setting looks awesome. It has Rabbids in it though, and that's driving me crazy.
That's the one thing where it's like, oh, if you just took those out,
yeah,
it'd be great. But that game wouldn't exist without them. That's purely here. Take Mario and do something cool with it because we need more games, and they did that. So
yeah, I guess. But honestly, like, could you imagine that thing just being Super Mario RPG 2? So
this is the end of our podcast because now I'm just sad because that'll never happen.
So we're Workforce Gaming. If you guys like what you heard, you can follow us on YouTube. You can follow us on Twitter at Workforce Gaming. We'll see you